The closer we get to Election Day, the crazier the lies coming out of the Trump campaign continue to be. We see Donald Trump spreading conspiracies about President Biden and Vice President Harris's response to Hurricane Helene and now Hurricane Milton. We see Donald Trump make even crazier accusations as he fearmongers about the border. And of course, the Fox propaganda network is there to prop up and push Donald Trump's lies and conspiracies 24 hours a day. But luckily, for a bit of time during one of those hours, Jessica Tarlov is there to call out and shut down not just the lies, but the MAGA host pushing them on behalf of Donald Trump. And that is exactly what happened today, not only calling out the lies for her co-hosts, but calling them out as liars. And I am so excited for us to check that out. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really goes a long way in supporting this channel. Now let's get into this first clip of Jessica poking a little bit of fun at JD Vance.
This whole idea, she's trying to get men back by saying that Emhoff and Waltz, that's true masculinity. I dare you to take a poll and put together Donald Trump and JD Vance against Emhoff and Waltz and ask who's going to win in terms of masculinity. They even have to redefine it. Americans aren't feeling it.
I don't think you want that competition. I mean, he has beautiful eyelashes, but JD Vance looks like he's wearing eyeliner most of the time.
But he's not.
How dare you?
How dare you? I know, and maybe the couch story was real.
And you know what? Walt said he was carried weapons of war. He was in Bagram. You want to talk about it?
Donald Trump of working class fame on his golden toilet. Let's not do this again. So
while it is certainly not the most substantive topic that we can be focused on when talking about JD Vance possibly wearing a little extra bit of makeup, nothing wrong with that. I encourage it. You want to look a little bit better? Absolutely go for it. But it is certainly okay to have a little bit of fun. But Jessica wasn't just pointing that out about JD Vance. She wanted to make sure that she hit really hard and hit home against Donald Trump with some elements of not only his appearance, but the appearance of those at his rallies. And you will know exactly what I'm talking about when you see this clip right here.
But this Michigan thing, and obviously we desperately need to win Michigan, but on the ground, I don't see this. On Tuesday, JD Vance had a rally there, and there were guys wearing auto workers for Trump shirts that weren't actually auto workers, so just paid to wear the T-shirt there. When there was the auto workers strike, Joe Biden on the picket line, Donald Trump had a rally that he said was in support of the unions, but was at a non-union plant because the union workers didn't want him there with him. So
as Donald Trump pretends that he will bring economic success to the United States, which he didn't in his first term, and which President Biden and Vice President Harris have, we have to continue to call out the many ways in which he will be such a destructive president for organized labor. And Jessica Tarlov did such a great job pointing that out, that when he holds rallies pretending that there are unions supporting him, they're not union workers. They're just pretending to be. Donald Trump is bringing scabs to his rallies because that is what he is. He is a scab. And it's not just the lies about Donald Trump's economic record and agenda that Jessica Tarlov was calling out. In this incredible clip right here, she was going all in on his attack on reproductive freedom, and I want to take a look.
I hope so. They're definitely trying. It's top of mind with all of this, and I do appreciate the explanation of World of Warcraft, but the point was being on a Twitch stream where a majority of young men are spending their time, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Donald Trump also on a Twitch stream before we go to vote on November 5th. It's smart to go where the peoples are. Outreach, especially to Black men, is something that they're focused on, things like barbershop tours, doing a lot of focus grouping in these blue wall states to talk to young men about what their lives are like, what their priorities are, the economy coming up over and over again, wanting to know specifically what is the deliverable. What did you do for me as part of the Biden-Harris administration? What will be different in the Harris-Walz administration? But I find it difficult to sit for all of these discussions about how the Democrats are blowing it with men and this is irredeemable and, you know, we're terrible and we belittle, et cetera, when the gender gap on the other side with women is bigger than the gap with men. So Donald Trump is losing to Kamala Harris with women 15 to 20 points, which is bigger than the margins of any Republicans have before. And I don't hear the Republican, tour about women. I just hear him, even on with Andrew Schultz, doubling down on, it was good to get rid of Roe. That's no problem. I mean, Andrew Schultz set him up perfectly with a hilarious joke about how Barron is such a stud and bet you're feeling bad about getting rid of Roe v. Wade. Mm-hmm. And Trump can't even nail it because it's so ludicrous that he's a, quote, protector of women. That's the outreach to these women who are saying the Republican Party has abandoned us. They do not care about our needs. They do not understand our health. They do not understand our health care issues. They don't understand family planning. They don't even know how it works. You don't even have a heartbeat at 6 weeks.
It's hard for men to hear abortion described as family planning.
Really? Would it be hard? Because we are talking about women.
No, let me finish.
There is no one better than Jessica at calling out these lies of Donald Trump. I have said this before. I'm going to say it again. Not that I want to have Jessica quit her day job. I think she would make an incredible press secretary. Just putting that out there into the universe, but focusing in on this issue that is so damaging for Donald Trump, his attacks on reproductive freedom, the person singularly most responsible for overturning Roe v. Wade on the planet. We need to continue to focus in on this issue because it doesn't just show how destructive Donald Trump was and how destructive he could be, but it shows that he's a liar. He's flip-flopped back and forth on this issue, trying to win votes, trying to pretend that he would be supportive of women's reproductive freedom. So we know that isn't true. So it shows that he's not just destructive, but he is, of course, a liar. And we have known that to be true. And we know that to be true of the Fox host who Jessica works with. And she called them out for their lies. This clip right here.
Of the womb.
No, but
the reality is often when you're talking about, some of these third-term abortions, it's about
that's not the reality. That's what you want to tell people the reality is.
Well, no,
the reality
that is a reality in some states. But the bottom line is Donald Trump is protecting women in terms of law and order. Are you kidding me?
Law and order.
As the criminals run through this country and they're bailed out because people like Kamala Harris made a decision that we should bail everybody out.
You just said that, okay, women are overwhelmingly Democrat. There are more women voters, right? You guys you can vote for abortion. Go for it. No one's stopping you.
Post-birth abortions do not happen. That is a lie. Crime is not up. Crime is down. They are lying. But this is what we have come to expect every single time from the Fox propaganda outlet. But again, can we just say a big thank you to Jessica for being there, not only to call their lies out, but that is an important audience that she is speaking to and bringing real information and facts to every single day, doing God's work. We really appreciate you, Jessica, and we especially appreciate what she had to say in this clip right here.
Doesn't want to be there. She has a complete lack of, interest in things.
I don't feel that. I think that someone can be uncomfortable and trying really hard to do the right thing without it being an issue of being disinterested. And I appreciate that you did lead with, we all have muted mics issues every once in a while, even 4 or 5 years after we started being on calls like that all the time. But the talking point that she's quote unquote being fed, this is a very real issue. And there were people who were talking to reporters in North Carolina saying, I have family members who don't think FEMA is here because of the misinformation coming out of Donald Trump, other Republicans.
Well, Donald Trump is out pushing conspiracies and trying to use the response to Hurricane Helene and now Hurricane Milton in my home state of Florida as a tool, as a means to his own political gain, trying to lie and push conspiracies without caring that it is affecting communities who do not know how to get aid, do not know if they should even take the initial $750 being offered by FEMA, thinking that they're going to have their houses taken, their properties seized because of these lies that Donald Trump pushed. If he actually cared about his supporters, he would be doing everything he could to help them. And it's not just me saying that. It's not just Jessica. It is Republican governors, Republican state and local officials calling out Donald Trump as we continue to see for how dangerous he is. And also, shame on them. Now you realize how dangerous and impactful he is. You should have been calling him out from the beginning. But calling him out, something Jessica, of course, does so well, and she continued to do so right here.
Donald Trump saying we gave your disaster relief money to people who are here undocumented is A, lie, and it B, obviously creates a narrative that is inaccurate
Can I ask
and
you,
dangerous.
What pot are the immigrants getting the money from?
The shelter services pot.
Oh, a different FEMA pot. But it's a FEMA pot.
Yes, but
yes or no?
What you are accusing Joe
It is
Biden of
a
is
FEMA
actually the
pot.
thing that Donald Trump did in 2019.
I have said it on this show before, but we have to say it again. Donald Trump's lies are dangerous right now. They are hurting people. They are impacting communities in a negative way right now. Imagine if, as we saw 4 years ago during COVID, Donald Trump was president again, pushing these conspiracies during these disasters. Imagine the danger he would cause with the even crazier cult that he has around him. He didn't have a Marjorie Taylor Greene back then. He didn't have a J.D. Vance. He didn't have a Lauren Boebert, but now he will. And that should absolutely terrify us because it is an even crazier cult and they are out to push more conspiracies and cause more chaos. And we have to continue to call it out. And we're going to every single day on this show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around to the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.